guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you some holiday baking. These are some recipes that have been passed down through my family, so I hope that you enjoy them. I will list them in the description box below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This first one is called Cherry Delight and is very similar to a cheesecake, but it's lighter because you use Cool Whip. So first you use 2½ cups of graham cracker crumbs, then you use 1 stick of melted butter, which you soften in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and 1/2 cup of sugar. You just combine together and then you transfer that to a baking dish. Pat down firmly with a spoon, especially your corners, and then you're going to put that in the oven for 350 degrees for 8 minutes and then allow that to cool. So once that's in the oven and baking, you can start on your filling, and that is going to be 8 ounces of cream cheese, and also soften that in the microwave too for about 5 seconds, and then 4 cups or a 12-ounce tub of Cool Whip, and then 1½ teaspoons of vanilla, and 1 cup confectioner's sugar. Combine that all together, whip until creamy at medium speed. So once your crust is cool, then you can add your filling. You just spread that over evenly as possible, and then you can use a ready-to-use cherry pie filling, or you can also use blueberry or strawberry. We call it a Cherry Delight, but again, you can use whatever fruit that you prefer. And here it is, all complete, and boy is it one of my favorites. It's really tasty. You gotta try it. So now on to the next recipe, which are our sugar cookies, and it is 1 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of butter, and 1/3 cup of coconut oil. You're going to combine and beat until light and fluffy. Then you're going to add 2 eggs and 1 tablespoon of milk. And then you're going to incorporate that into the wet ingredients. So in a separate bowl, you're going to use 2½ cups of sifted flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. In a large bowl, whisk together your dry ingredients and slowly add into the wet. Incorporate evenly. Once that's all incorporated, you'll shape that into a mound. Wrap in either wax paper or parchment paper and ship. Next, you're going to roll into a surface lightly floured with confectioner's sugar to 1/4 inch thick. Cut into shapes, any type that you want, and then sprinkle cookies with colored sugar. So what you do is just take normal sugar and then just use the dye to color the sugar whatever color you want, and then place them on a parchment covered baking sheet. You're going to bake at 375 degrees for 8 minutes or until lightly brown, and then you're going to let them cool once you get them out for about 3 to 4 minutes before you transfer the cookies to a cooling rack. So normally my family does several batches of these, and my kids, it's tradition for my kids to do this, so I thought I would just film me doing it, and then later on today we'll actually be doing this as a family. If you do happen to try these, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you thought of them, because they aren't like the traditional sugar cookie. Also, if you're watching and you're new here, my name's Amy and welcome to my channel. I'd love to have you back, so if you like content on decorating and cleaning and lifestyle, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, I would love to have you in my YouTube family. These are honestly my favorite cookies, so in the comments, let me know, what is your favorite cookie? These turned out just perfectly brown, so I just cannot wait to have my cup of coffee and a couple cookies. But first, it's time to clean up the kitchen and clean up all the mess that I just made. I'll just wipe down the countertops and then put away all the things that I needed to make the cookies. And then today I think I will just clean the mixing bowls and the measuring cups by hand, and then I'll give my floors just a quick vacuum, and then we'll be done for today. And then I will do a couple more desserts tomorrow. So now, to get up all the sugar cookie residue off of the island, you do have to wipe it down a couple times. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just using just normal dish soap, and then just giving it a couple wipe downs, and then even drying it off and wiping it down once more to get rid of all the butter and the grease that was from the cookies. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give the rest of the counters just a quick wipe down as well. And I was running a little behind, so my sweet husband stepped in and cleaned the floors for me while I was still cleaning up the kitchen, because we were going to be late for a family function. So I thank him so much for helping out and all that he does. So you'll see my cute husband as he vacuums here in a little bit. So you might notice that's a new vacuum. Well, in my next video, I'll be showcasing the Tyneco battery operated vacuum, so be sure to hit that notification bell if you're interested in hearing what I think about my new battery powered vacuum. So today I'll be sharing with you my grandma's recipe for pumpkin pies, as well as peanut butter blossom cookies. So I accidentally got deep dish crust, so I had to use a half more recipe, so 1.5. So just remember to get regular pie crust, and I'll be sharing with you the recipe that it is for just the regular. So first you're going to mix your sugar, flour, salt, and spices. And so that will be 1 cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons of flour, a half a teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. So just whisk together the dry ingredients and transfer that into a pan. Next, you're going to start with the wet ingredients. So you're going to take 1 pint of pumpkin, or 2 cups or 16 ounces of pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie mix. So it's pure pumpkin. And then you're going to add 2 eggs and your 2 cups of milk. And I only show me adding 1 cup of milk, but just remember it's 2 cups of milk. Once that's all in the bowl, you're going to just stir that to incorporate it nicely, and then transfer that to the pot, and then you're going to whisk together the wet and the dry ingredients. Now, instead of baking the pie for 40 minutes, we're actually going to speed up the process by heating the pumpkin mixture on the stovetop till it starts to thicken, while your pie crusts are baking for the 10 minutes. So you do have to be willing to stay right at the oven and stir so that it doesn't start to splatter all over. So continually stir for those 10 minutes so you get a nice arm workout in the process. But as it starts to thicken, you'll be able to tell that it's nice and thick, and then your pie crust will be ready to come out of the oven, and then you can pour the pumpkin pie directly into the crust now. So another benefit to boiling your pumpkin on the stovetop is that when you transfer from here to the oven, you're not going to have the accidental spillage or mistake. So that's a plus for boiling it on the stovetop. So now we're just going to transfer it to the 370-degree preheated oven, and we're going to go ahead and cook it for an additional 25 to 35 minutes. So while that's baking, I have lots of time to clean up my pots and pans and all the things that I use to make the pumpkin pie. So about 25 minutes later, looks like they're all done. So time to come out of the oven. So now to start on my last cookie recipe, which is the peanut blossom cookies. So make sure your oven is preheated to 375 degrees. In a small mixing bowl, sift together 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to set that aside. In a large mixing bowl, cream together 1/2 cup of butter, 1/3 cup of peanut butter, and then gradually add in 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. Now add 1 unbeaten egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now blend in the dry ingredients that you had set aside earlier. Now shape dough into round balls about the size of a walnut, and I use my food scale and measure them at 20 grams. You're going to take each ball and roll into sugar and then place them on the parchment paper. So as you can see here, I added a little additional help again from my sweet husband. Now you're going to bake them at 375 degrees for 8 minutes. While this is baking, make sure to unwrap your kisses, because once you get them out of the oven, you're going to place the Hershey Kiss firmly in the center until the cookie cracks around the edge. And then you're going to return them back to the oven for about 2 to 5 minutes until they're golden brown. As one comes out, another one will go in. And then I'll just transfer these to a cooling rack and throw away the parchment paper. And in the same process, just add the kisses and then put them back in for another 2 to 5 minutes until golden brown. So now that the baking is all finished, it's time to clean up the kitchen one last time. So I'm just going to again wipe down my mixer, and dry it and put it away. And then just wipe down all my cabinets, put away all the baking sheets, and wait for the cookies to cool and then transfer them into an airtight container. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching this video, and maybe we'll try some of these recipes, and if you do, be sure to comment and let me know. Also, if you want, just say hi. I'd like to get to know you better. And if you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you back. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. And again, if you're interested in what I think about the new Tyneco vacuum, be sure to catch my next video. I'll do a total clean with me and review of the Tyneco battery operated vacuum. So until next time, I'll see you on Simply Our Home. Have a great day. Bye.